I mean, I started in the amateur ranks like a lot of the kids that, we work with, same route, played Little League Baseball, high school, got drafted out of high school. But I had a full ride to Villanova initially to play basketball. So I was, multi-sport guy too. So, but I mean, went on and played in the minor leagues with the Expos and eventually went to the big leagues with them, played 13 years. And since retirement, I've gotten into coaching. I'm in the Cincinnati Reds organization. I'm a manager at this time and, still in the game.
Uh, Pretty similar. I was a youth baseball player. Baseball was more or less kind of what I played because my friends played. I was mainly a football player. And I think around my sophomore year in high school, I decided to give the baseball thing like a full try. And from there, had the opportunity to go into pro ball out of high school, went to college, played 3 years, signed with Baltimore, and a couple major league camps, and then started back. I got out of baseball and started work with the family and ended up getting back in with some instruction. Took a job scouting. Had the pleasure of signing, Delino's son, Junior, a couple years ago, and actually signed a lot of talented players out of the Georgia area. Through my 6 years with the Astros.
Well, I mean, for me, it's easy. I mean, it's just giving back. To me, it's just a way of giving back. I was helped so much as a young kid. I it was really hard. I mean, growing up without these type of people in your life, and I understand how hard it is for a lot of these kids. So it's just giving back for me, basically. That's what it is. Well, honestly, it came from watching a lot of bad baseball. Just a lot of bad, habits and swings and fielding and I was just on the in search of something that would help kids improve, and things that I saw, and that's basically where it comes from. Just watching a lot of bad baseball. Well, I sat on this thing for, I mean, the idea of it, I sat on it for a long time, and finally came home a couple off season and brought them into Linc and Brian and showed those guys, and the rest is history. That's why we're sitting here now. They believed in it, and are as passionate about it as I was, and it's been all about the results that we've seen, throughout the process. I mean, if they didn't work, we wouldn't be sitting here right now.
Well, when he brought the Pro Cups into me, my first instinct is well, first let me go back. Being around D, D is always he a student of the game. So every time I see him, he got something new, something different that may help a kid get better. And what that does is, as an instructor, it creates, I think, gives you some variety so you can reach more kids. It may be something that works with this kid and not work with the other kid. But when I saw that and it kind of started talking about the principle, I was sold right away because the relationship to what it causes you to do, a lot of this stuff comes from some of the fielding things are visually instant. And when we throw BP, you get visually, instantly you see the changes visually. But over time, I think what happens with these cuffs is that the pro cuffs build such amount of feel, and that's such a part of our game is played with feel. It gives you feel for where contact points and feel for hand positions. And I've seen kids make changes and adjustments so much that it's just like, I ain't a gadget guy. I'm not a gadget guy. I don't like gadgets. I'm just not my way. This one here, I say all the time, is not a gadget, it's a tool. This works. This is the one thing I've seen, hands down, 10 out of 10, 100 out of 100 work. The kind of feedback I get from parents is a lot of times it's not verbal, it's just the expression on their face when they see their kid doing something that they've tried to get them to do 100 times. And I put the cuffs on, all of a sudden this kid's moving his feet to catch a ground ball, and he said, "That was amazing. How'd you do that?" And I said, "I didn't do it. It forces them. This is what it does." And I see, and the kids, for me, is the biggest feedback. I had numerous kids at all levels, from young to upcoming high school guys to guys that are getting ready to be signed players in high school who put them on, and usually it's almost the exact same thing when they're finished. Where can I get these? Is usually what you hear. So
I think one of the major goals for the Pro Cup is to give not only the kids a tool to learn with, but the parents as well. because a lot of parents are really want the best for their kids and they want to see them get better, but they don't know the game like that. And what this tool does is it allows a parent to not have to yell at their son or kid when they're doing something wrong. I mean, really, all you got to do is take them out and back or to the field, put the cuffs on them, and the rest will take care of itself. So it's just a tool not only for the kids but for the parents as well. Well, that's the beauty of it. You know, like I said, there's a lot of things on the market. I've tried numerous devices, and I'm always looking for things to help kids improve. And some of them get a little complicated and are hard to use. But with this, I mean, it's just as simple as just putting them on and doing what you do. I mean, whether it's swinging or taking ground balls, you really don't have to talk a lot, you know, as an instructor. I mean, you know, of course, we're still going to do that, but you know, for a parent who's home and really doesn't know much about the game, you just put these on your kid, take them out to the field, throw them some batting practice or some ground balls, and they're gonna improve.
The game of baseball and softball are both built around repetition, and this is a repetition tool. You go see a kid, you put the cuffs on them, and through the process of the work and the repetition, you're gonna see a lot of the things that you may not visually see or know how to teach correct themselves because it forces them into a proper position. It's going to teach the feet how to work. So now when you're able to make an adjustment here or there, it gets easier. You know, the process of the work of the cuffs, you're going to continually see them get better. And Delino Jr. made a point that was huge is you may have to do thousands of reps to make one little move look simple. It's not simple. It looks simple because of the repetition. And I mean, I've instantly seen things. For example, I had a kid who has trouble moving his hands around when he goes to catch a ground ball. His hands get really wide. And I told his daddy, I'm gonna fix that. And we put the pro cuffs on him, shot about 50 balls at him, and his hand position was excellent. We took the pro cuffs off. He took about 50 more ground balls, and hands remain the same position, and we haven't had an issue with that yet. Again, we've only moved forward.